Good morning, everyone. Feeling better still, yeah, but feeling better. Anyway, uh, uh, I'm a little late today, so let's just get going. Good day yesterday? Yes. Good day, good day. But I gotta get going here. Yeah, it's one thing, but when your body is fighting something like this, a cold, right? It does affect one's. It does affect everything else, including my thinking. So, I'm going to give my body just a chance to feel better before I get back into this and that. And yeah, stringing things together in a proper. Okay. The spirit world's kind of waiting in the background right now. No, she's not feeling well. Okay, so let's get going in the book of Esther 5. Yeah, I gotta have my mind together for that. That's right. So, Esther intrudes. Oh, people might like this actually better. Esther intrudes on the royal presence. Oh, yeah. So, we have part of it here in italics again, which is supposed to be stuff that has some records. All right. On the third day, when she had finished praying, she took off her supplicant mourning's attire and dressed herself in her full splendor. Oh, she's not going to go in front of the king looking like a hag. Okay. Radiant as she then appeared, she invoked God who watches over all people and saves them. You had to put that in. Okay. One thing I do need to mention again, I'm doing this for the reputation of God, our heavenly parent, our heavenly father, the creator. Okay. And here, right? Okay. Hey. With her, she took two ladies in waiting. With a delicate air, she leaned on one, while the other accompanied her, carrying her train. Rosy with the full flush of her beauty, her face radiated joy and love, but her heart shrank with fear. Oh, she's a good actress then. Having passed through door after door, she found herself in the presence of the king. He was sitting on his royal throne, dressed in all his robes of state, glittering with gold and precious stones, a formidable sight. He looked up, afire with majesty, and blazing with anger, saw her. The queen sank to the floor. As she fainted, the color drained from her face, and her head fell against the lady in waiting beside her. But God changed the king's heart, right, inducing a milder spirit. He sprang from his throne in alarm and took her in his arms until she recovered, comforting her with soothing words. "What is the matter, Esther?" he said. "I am your brother. Take heart." "I'm your brother." "You are not going to die. Our order applies only to ordinary people. Come to me." And raising his golden scepter, he laid it on Esther's neck, embraced her, and said, "Speak to me." "Sire," she said, "I thought she had fainted. To me you look like one of God's angels, and my heart was moved with fear of your majesty. For you are a figure of wonder, my lord, and your face is full of graciousness." But as she spoke, she fell down in a faint. Again? The king grew more agitated, and his courtiers all set about reviving her. "What is the matter?" Okay, now it starts. Okay. So this was in italics. Now we're going to the regular story, which, again, we don't know if that happened or not. "What is the matter, Queen Esther?" The king said. "Tell me what you want. Even if it is half my kingdom, I grant it to you. Would it please the..." Oh, yeah, give me that. I'll take half of the kingdom and then send all the Jews in that part of the kingdom. Oh, there you go. There's a good solution. All right. Would it please the king, Esther replied, to come with Haman today to the banquet I have prepared for him? The king said, tell Haman to come at once, so that Esther may have her wish. So the king and Haman came to the banquet that Esther had prepared, and during the banquet the king again said to Esther, tell me your request, I grant it to you. Tell me what you want, even if it is half of my kingdom, it is yours for the asking. What do I want? What is my request? Esther replied, if I have found favor in the king's eyes, and if it is his pleasure to grant what I ask and to agree to my request, let the king and Haman come to the banquet. I intend to give them tomorrow, and then I shall do as the king says. Again, another banquet. Haman left full of joy and high spirits that day, but when he saw Mordecai at the chancellery, neither standing up nor stirring at his approach, he felt a gust of anger. Wouldn't that be the time where Mordecai should kind of... Okay, whatever. All right, so while I was reading this just beforehand, I'm saying this, I thought, man, if I would have been Esther, why does one have to... Okay, what did I say also beforehand? What did the Christians have to do in the catacombs and all that, right? Yes? All right, so pretend, okay, what I have to say? So, well, would it really have hurt Mordecai so badly if it just said, okay, Haman, whatever, my time will come, right? Yes? Here, when I listen to this and how Esther approached the king, which worked, okay, he's all, oh my gosh, my poor queen, what's going on? What do you want? What do you need? Does she need anything? Is it automatically if she comes to see him? I guess, since, okay, it's such an offense to do that to the king, to show up without being summoned. Man, while I was reading this, I was like, man, I'd have gone in there and said, what the heck you doing? Why are you killing so many people? What for exactly? Because one dude and another dude? What kind of king are you? Right? Yes? Okay. Yeah, that probably would have taken my head off. All right, I got it. It's just, does God really work like this? Having to be so deceptive? Then what about the commandment, thou shalt not lie? Why didn't give that? Oh, okay, that only applies when, yeah, again, just with my own people, But when it comes to other people, go right ahead and break them all. Doesn't matter. Is it? Is God like that? Again, not sure what to make of these stories, and what am I supposed to learn from that? To become deceitful towards other people rather than, hey, you know what? Be honest and say, hey, seriously? Why are you doing that? Again, that does one person have so much power? Then to decide if a whole people lives or not. One person, just another human being, just another human being. I'm not getting that. How's that possible? To attain so much power and people following such power. Well, let's keep on going. He restrained himself, however. Returning home, he sent for his friends and Zeresh, his wife, and held forth to them about his dazzling wealth, his many children, how the king had raised him to a position of honor and promoted him over the heads of the king's officers of state and ministers. Well, that's interesting. Is that it? Is that what suddenly has people do things for a king or... Okay. What is more, he added, Queen Esther has just invited me and the king, no one else except me, to a banquet she was giving, and better still, she has invited me and the king again tomorrow. But what do I care about all this when all the while I see Mordecai the Jew sitting there at the chancellery? Have a 50-cubit gallows run up, said Zeresh, his wife, and all his friends, and in the morning ask the king to have Mordecai hanged on it. Then you can go with the king to the banquet without a care in the world. Delighted with this advice, Haman had the gallows erected. Wow. There's the wife. Okay, that's the end of 5 already. What a weird story. Ugh. Which brings me to one more thing. So as I said, deceit, acting, right? Presenting oneself in one way but feeling completely different on the inside. Gosh, are we as human beings, if we are around each other, even allowed to be who we are in a way? Yes? Or, I mean, how are we going to restore anything if constantly things that should be addressed out in the open, tell the truth about what may be going on within a family or this or that? If things are constantly shoveled under the rug, for example, child abuse, yes? I'd like to know which family doesn't have a child molester in the family. Just saying. Most people do. It's a widespread problem, has been for a long, long time. There comes one of my little granddaughter with her 2 babies. Another thing too is on how people like to live on short quotes, right? Well, it's that live and let live, for example. Ow. And I see so many other ones. I read them and I go, oh yeah, that sounds really good. But then I read them again. I said, read every one of them. Hang on, sweetie pie. We'll play.
That.
Do you want to play that?
Yeah.
Let's play it after Rosie's done. I'm almost done.
Okay.
Read them 3 times and see if you feel the same way about them as when you read it the first time, where it sounds, oh, that sounds really good. Then you read it 3 times, you're going, wait a minute, something's not quite right with this. If you apply it throughout the whole world, throughout all of mankind, and to every human being, yes? So many quotes, especially when they come from Western civilization, they only apply to a certain region, to a certain people, to a certain wealth. Yes? Or craziness, insanity, just depending, right? But not to all of mankind. When it comes to the Eastern civilization, same thing. It just applies there. And then there also only to a certain type of people. Often these quotes only apply to people in elevated states. Yes? No, you don't have to be a king or a queen. Right? Yes? No? But just do well. And then the quotes apply. But the poorest in the world, per se, what are they going to do with these quotes? These sayings? This whatever. I found it interesting saw a beautiful little video of a girl having a multitude of little dogs and a little pig, and a baby chick and a rabbit, all in all laying there asleep, and she's singing to them. And all these animals were great. I mean, they were just oopsie. All these animals were just laying there asleep. She sang them all to sleep. I'm looking at this little girl of about 5 or 6 years old, maybe 7, and she doesn't know. I guarantee you, she doesn't know anything out of the Bible. I guarantee you that she's just this pure little soul that really hasn't been infected with all this stuff. And she naturally knows how to please, bring God joy, and please the principles of creation, the animals. Just saying. So once we grow up, what are we doing with all this knowledge that we suddenly have? All this supposed wisdom, station, position, and I don't know what. What are we doing with it?
Camels.
I'd say that.
Ducks.
Oftentimes with all this stuff, we're losing way more than we are gaining. Yes? All you have to do is just watch children and go, huh? How do they know how to do this right? How come we're losing the ability to do so many things right as we grow older?
Hippos.
Just asking.
Wolves.
Yes? All right, got to go. She wants to play a game, so we're going to do that.
Lions.
Before breakfast. Yes. May Heavenly Parent
gorilla.
bless and protect you, embrace you with love. Yes. Let's stay true to ourselves. The truth will set you free. That's true. There you go. The truth will set you free. The truth can also be very, very painful to your surroundings. Then you start to restore. That's what's going to set you free. Yes? Again, may Heavenly Parent bless and protect you, embrace you with love, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.